Good evening, all. Welcome to the stream. Good to see so many of you in already. Good evening, Single Track, Shadow, Stikara Monster AV, Edison, Shinobi, Dell, Ray. Good evening to you all. Bit of a plan for today. We've got some good stuff lined up, so really good to see you all here. The plan today will be that we are going to. Good evening, Notorious. We're going to go and do a little bit of review of the news that's come out this week. Including I wanted to look at some information that's come out in ISC because I still see a lot of kind of guesswork going on in and around the whole issue of the mining. The salvage with the reclaimer. So we're going to have a look at that in just a bit. Hopefully, put some of that to bed, and then we'll go from there. So yeah, it'll be good to see you. Mongo, good evening. Kiss, good evening. Good to see you guys. Thank you very much for joining the stream. So once we've done all that, and we've done a little bit of the news, should take me no more than about 10-20 minutes. Once we've done that, we're going to jump into the game. We have some crew ready for some reclaimer action. If you're already on my friends list, make sure you're on the EPTU. Sling us a friends invite. I'll see it when I get in game. I've got the game ready to go, and we shall go and do 3 things that I want to achieve by the end of the stream. I want to go and do some salvage action with the reclaimer. I want to go and see some of the new outposts that have been put into Stanton. They're looking really impressive. Had a sneak peek a little bit earlier. And I want to go in just right at the end, see if we can go and clear a bunker, see if all of that noise with them spawning in the steps and in the walls has gone away with this patch. Hope it has. This is what we're going to be finding out today, though. So good to see everyone. Glad you're all doing well. I wasn't sure whether or not I was going to have a drink this stream, but I suppose I can. We're going to go posh this time round. I've got some mead. So this is tournament mead with ginger, so hopefully it'll take a little bit of the sweetness off the edge of it. We're going to give that a go. I'm going to drink it out of a normal glass like a heathen, just because I forgot to get a wine glass before I started the stream. So, oops. I don't even really know who makes this, so I can't go and ask them for a sponsorship. But if you make mead, I wouldn't say no. Okie dokie. So, first off, then, we'll go and have a look at some of the news. I also wanted to have, as I said, a quick look at the Inside Star Citizen, the Salvage Operation 1, just because I think it's going to be important. There's one part in the middle of it all that I think is kind of key for what the future will be. Of course, there was that post on Spectrum where they came and said that they'd rushed it in so that we could have it. They're going to add gameplay that makes it a little more technical, that makes it a little bit more challenging. There's going to be a difficulty level to it. That is effectively all that they said. That, you know, some of that may happen before the patch comes out, but if not, remembering that this is just tier 0, and that, you know, there's plenty of changes to come. So hopefully for those that are not as happy with it, that there is time for that to be fixed and for that to work. Whether that works or not, whether that mollifies people or not, I'm not sure. I'm just frantically going and having a look through at the minute to see if I can find the bit of the video. Yeah, so it's right at the beginning. Okay. So we'll just jump across now. We'll have a quick look at it, and this is what they had to say about mining in the ISC, in case you haven't seen it. Good evening, Scott. Good to see you, buddy. Let's go and have a look. Okay. No, you can't hear anything, which is why I've put the text on. I'm going to try and fix that in the background frantically whilst we are just watching. So it's the SFX one. So yeah. So in effect, what I'm what they said was that they weren't going to be able to do what they planned to do before, which was the physical crunching. And here's why. I'll take you back to the beginning of that and we can listen again.
The entities spawned from the entire piece, so the thousands and thousands of entities.
We had to reconsider our approach quite a lot because it was apparent from the prototype that several aspects of it weren't really going to work the way we wanted to.
With the demo failing, or basically showing us the limits of our engine, which was the entity count, by showcasing that it takes a really long time to spawn all the entities that would fit the size of an 890 jump.
We also had to reconsider some things because we wanted to get this in players' hands as soon as possible. So that means making a few adjustments to the scope.
We were asked to come up with a solution by end of this year, which is structural salvage.
Structural salvage is breaking apart various ships in order to break down the pieces into construction material, which then you can sell. So it's just removing stuff from the persistent database.
So one of the...
Okay. An interesting thing there, and the reason I wanted to talk about this particular feature is I see a lot of people that are expecting the salvage claw and the reclaimer specifically to go back to the physicalized. That does not seem like that is the intent. As we see with the vulture has no physical munching property. It basically uses the wave system that are all those vertical poles just inside of the reclaimer itself. Oh, sorry, the vulture itself. If I switch you across very quickly and show you what I mean. So you can see there as you look at it on the right hand side, there are all those vertical poles, and they create basically this field that is exactly what the reclaimer does, and that then allows the ship to resonate, break apart, and then it will break them up and suck them into the ship. So it doesn't look like we're going to get physical. It's a bit of it's changed my attitude on the reclaimer a little bit. Now, I'm not saying they're wrong. All I'm saying is that it's broken my interest in it a little, because when you go back and you read the description for the reclaimer, when the reclaimer first came out, it specifically said the claw grabs stuff to move it into the ship for processing. Now, how that was going to work, no clue. It's not immediately obvious from the exterior of the ship how that was going to work. And when you think about things like collision and exactly what they've said about the number of entities, it makes sense the direction that they're going, but I still think there's a lot of justifiable disappointment around, oh, look, it's another beam. So, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. So, yeah. Scaragord says, it would be such amazing gameplay if we had to place charges in and around the ship. Blow it up, hoover it up. Yeah, anything physicalized like that would be very, very cool. Yeah. I don't know how to respond to that, Scarlett. I really don't. Thank you for derailing my train of thought, you absolute monster. We are still getting the claw just much later. Is there a link for that, Notorious? Because at the moment, the way they've modelled that claw, I don't think that's going to happen. Because even if they do intend to go physical for the claw for the reclaimer, that's obviously not going to work for the vulture. The vulture's still going to need to do something like it's doing at the moment. The only other way it could do it under the maelstrom system, I suppose, is that all of those fields become this thing where it moves up to a ship and drags that sort of stuff in. but you know, so even if they change it for the Reclaimer, it's going to have to be different for this and other ships unless they too get claws. And that just seems like a lot of extra work for the same effect. So I wouldn't mind betting that they'll stay with it as it is. But you said you're going to link something to me, so I'm just going to have a quick look for that. Feel free to kick it over, mate, as soon as you are. As soon as you are ready. Also, for those that are in already on the friends list, feel free to give us an invite on the EPTU, or to log in on the EPTU. When I go into the game, I'll join you. It'll be great to put a it'll be yeah. So that doesn't say what you think it says. Okay, so I'm just gonna open that in another window. So this is what we've seen already, right? We've seen this one. This is the one that was a while back. Okay, so let's switch across and just have a look at a very quick look at what they said. Okay. Thank you all for your feedback. I get all your frustration with regards to the simplicity of the current implementation of the structural salvage aspect. So what they're talking about here is how simple it is, not the fact that it's no longer physical. He's talking about simplicity. We wanted to bring you the gameplay in a quicker time frame than what we normally do, and that comes with the cost of being simplified, not dephysicalized. That does not mean, though, that we do not continue working on fitting the feature better in the global timeframe of how Star Citizen will play. As some of you already pointed out, this feature is heavily dependent on the Maelstrom technology, and because we did not want to waste too much of our work in inventing new tech that would be replaced by that Maelstrom technology, we had to take this approach. We are still working hard to improve what we can in our time remaining. Okay, there will be one thing coming that will add complexity, not physicalization, but more on that next week once it makes the build. But being honest, this will just take a small proportion of the feedback we've been getting so far. To be very clear, this approach we took is us wanting to give you something nice for the end of the year, and also for us to be able to tell and measure what you enjoy about structural salvage. We do have plans to make the fracturing part more skill-driven, but implementing those takes time and is heavily dependent on other teams who also require a significant amount of time. Okay, so unfortunately, that's kind of the bottom line. Now, that they were very clear in the way that they were looking at doing previously failed. This is, you know, when people say what's taking the time, this is it. Sometimes what you try doesn't work. We saw exactly the same with iCache. iCache was a failure. They tried something, didn't work, they went on, and now what they have with the replication layer is working, going into things like server meshing. But this is just where we are. Some people are fine with the vacuum cleaner approach. I have wanted something a little bit more tactile, says Shady Face. Evening, buddy. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Yeah, 100%. History says they've already committed dev hours to this direction, so they're not going to go back and change it. Not negative, just realistic. Yeah, I mean, they've talked about repair as well, about how they're intending at the moment to keep the repair beams, and then they're going to look at the physicalization of stuff and figure out if they want to change it. If there's lots of feedback saying, we don't like this, we prefer the physicalization, yeah. You know, one of my big issues with this is that, you know, and this is more repair than salvage, but it's all linked, right? It's all the same thing. It's the simplification of game loops. I play a lot of Arma 3, or I used to. One of the things I really didn't like, now I like being a medic. I like running around, getting people, you know, back on their feet and looking after them in Arma. The Arma medicing, you run up to someone, you look at them and you scroll your mouse wheel, and that is your interaction menu. It's like context sensitive. And it gives you the option to heal them or resuscitate them, and then all you do is you hold space and you watch a little wheel go around like a buffering wheel, and once it fills up, they're fixed. It's not gameplay. That's holding a button until you get the desired result. That's really not. It's not fun. You you know, and okay, the fact that you get this claw come out, to me, it's not fun. Now, there are going to be people who are saying, I love it, I'm fine with it, it's whatever. Great, happy for you, but it's not my thing. No, not at all, Notorious. It's one of those things where it's ambiguous again, because to us, bringing things out quicker than normal, a beam would be a logical way of doing that, right? And then once they figure it out, what I mean, even if it had articulated slightly left and right, up and down, and you just kind of attach it, and then the piece just kind of get pulled into the claw, and that grinder on the end sucks it in, I would have been happy with that. Or like compacted it, like a crushed car, and then that goes into the salvage processing. At the moment, the way things stand, that salvage processing deck, which is the huge grinder with the wheels that you see, you know, all the real videos of people just throwing ridiculous things in and just munching them, right? That big grinding area now has no purpose. It's completely superfluous because everything's going to be dust before it gets in the strip. Your recycled composite materials, dust. When it gets in, you're already evaporating it, pulling it off the hull. The hull is already broken down. The remaining couple of parts, which is the component salvage and the liquid salvage, neither of those are going to need to go through that deck. So they basically, I mean, I suppose it's kind of cool because now they have space for cargo. Maybe they put a medical bay in, given the fact that the reclaimer's supposed to go out for ages. Maybe it's more for like food storage, so you can carry more provisions on board. So there's that. Okay, so yeah. Consider this is possibly just for now. Remember, we were supposed to have cutscenes to get to planet surfaces. Yes, we were 100%. Yeah. It just seems like, you know, that redesign of the claw on the reclaimer is pretty final. But we're going to have a look at that in just a little bit. So, good evening, Drops. Good to see you, buddy. No worries at all. I wish I could, but the real boss had me doing stuff, tending to a sick wife. Oh mate, I'm sorry to hear that, bud. I hope she'll feel better soon. Cool. So that's it. Just gonna skip through a few bits and pieces here whilst I am here. Let's jump to that. Okay. So outside of that, 322. What we have at the minute: player hair committed, new derelict settlements. They're not quite derelict. Now they seem to be occupied, but they are also coming with the locations in gameplay. Structural salvage still not committed. There's obviously something that they are not happy with, or we just haven't hit that update point yet where they go tick yes. But it sounds like what was mentioned in what Notorious linked for us, which was the bit about something that they're adding to add a little bit complexity. That may well be what's missing, and they're just waiting to see which way it goes. Cargo containers are not yet there. Excuse my false teeth. And then Maker's Point, and the other locations, a whole bunch of areas that we'll go and have a look at in just a second. And then the 3 ships. So the 3 or the 4 ships rather, or the 2 ships, depending on how you look at it. You have the X1 and the Santoki Eye due by the end of the year as well, which. Okie doke. Opens up a bigger issue, Imo. There's a stigma around sharing valid feedback by a loud contingent of the community. Give the wrong feedback and you get dogpiled on. Yeah, so I think there's elements of this in all places, right? So there are elements who will feedback negatively on anything. And that causes a lot of the dogpiling. There are the White Knights, that causes a lot of the dogpiling. And there are, I don't know, sometimes it's like someone simply isn't aware of something that was said before, because there's no one place for all this information to go. So there's something that one person didn't watch one video, makes an assumption, does a huge post, gets dogpiled because they had the audacity not to watch one video that they had no idea there was information for anyway. Because, of course, if we knew there was information that invalidated everything we'd say, we wouldn't say it. But, you know, it's that sort of stuff. You know, and I think anyone who's played Star Citizen knows that there are issues around collision and entities interacting with each other. However, having said that, that's what CIG was selling. So it is fully reasonable for someone to have gone, okay, well, that's not how it works now, but they're going to change it in the future, because that's the answer for so many other features, right? Trading, or, you know, selling stuff. You can't sell anyone else's stuff. Well, not right now, but you will be able to in the future. Yeah? You can't draw out anyone else's ships. But with org permissions, you will be able to in the future. And so on and so on. So, you know, the it's not like that now, it's planned to be in the future is a perfectly reasonable answer for a lot of people. And I don't know why the camera keeps freezing. It's beginning to annoy me. We might go to gameplay without the camera again, because it's just... But yeah, that's that. Veerfox, good evening, buddy. Good to see you. Notorious, there's one place for all this information, and unfortunately it's Spectrum. Yeah, and then, you know, you've got the what was before Spectrum. So the old forums, including the forums that had Jared saying, no, it's perfectly possible we'll sell the F8 in future. So yeah, that exists. That's on a post on the previous forums. And the amount of people saying that the F8C was a promise just hadn't seen it. But why would you? Because that forum's now dead, but someone saved it. Blah. Shinobi says, most of the complaints about structural salvage are probably from people that forget we're in an alpha. It's the first implementation, it's going to change. I think everyone is overreacting a little. So there's two parts to the criticism that I have seen. One is the one that says it's too simple. That's what CIG responded to in their Spectrum post. There's also the one that says, hang on, it's no longer physical. You now turned it into a beam and a fracture field. On the subject of simplicity, CIG have said we'll fix it. On the subject of physical, there is no indication that they're going to go that way. They haven't even said we're going to wait to see and then maybe we'll make it physical like they did with repair. This is just the way it's going to be now. That's their statement anyway. And unless there's enough of a backlash from the community, that's the way it's going to go. But they did say 100% that the experiment, what they were trying before with the entities spawning in for it to be able to grab, has failed. It just pushed the server well past the amount of entities it can cope with. Maybe server meshing fixes that? Don't know. So that's that. Personally, putting it in feedback is fine, but some people just get serious on both sides. Yeah, and this is it. And this is the thing of there's good feedback and there's bad feedback, right? No matter what any HR, all feedback is good feedback. Nah, Tosh. Good feedback is the feedback that goes, here's what I've identified, here's why I don't like it, here's a suggestion to fix it, right? And then there's the feedback that goes, oh my god, you've broken the game, oh my god, I'm refunding everything, oh my god, you don't know what you've done, you've broken promises, and just seeks to go from zero to doom in as short a space as possible. One is well worthy of ridicule. You're responsible for everything you say, you know it's on the internet, you know people are going to have a go. One is not as worthy of ridicule, and that's just what we go by in my own channel, right? Is that, and I've said it here a couple of times, is arguing the point is fine, arguing the person is not. So saying that, you know, something doesn't reflect the evidence and it's not logical is fine. Turning around and saying you're not logical, you're an idiot is not. So yeah, that stuff. Cool. So let's have a look at what we have next. Arastra Q&A came out. We'll whistle through this because there is not much interesting in here apart from the first couple of questions. They've answered questions about the refinery. Now, what they've said is that they're effectively calling refining units reactors. And they've said, obviously, the Expanse, we know that there are 6 small reactors on it. They've said that the Arastra will have 2 reactors, but they're much bigger. So, in effect, one of the Orions are... sorry, not one, both. So their reactors on the Arastra are about the same capacity as what's on the Expanse. Okay, so this is what they said. The Arastra has 2 reactors that allow it to run 2 separate orders concurrently. These reactors are much larger than the 6 on the Expanse, allowing each order to contain a much higher quantity of goods. While the numbers for player-controlled refining is still being worked out, and we don't want to give specifics, expect each reactor to be able to refine around the same amount an Expanse can in one go. So double the capacity, the downside being you can only have 2 orders going where the Expanse can have fingers 6. So yeah, there's that. Cool. Montrovi says, I wouldn't take that too serious. I can tell you the people who blindly counter criticism don't get too far. Most of the legit feedback is balanced at best in the feedback thread. Yeah, 100%. And, you know, I wasn't trying to indicate that one side or the other was overweighted. I think it just sometimes people can hear the negative and react to it like it's bad feedback even when it's not. And vice versa. Some people will take bad feedback as good feedback and go, yeah, this is definitely the end of the game. But yeah. The Arastra will be able to refine Quantanium, but won't be able to feed it back into her own engines. So the Quantanium refined by the Arastra will only be a sellable commodity. It will not be fuel. Unless, I guess, you sell it to another player who then puts it in their Gemini. Okay. So, size 3 mining lasers, not controllable by the pilot. They're not bespoke, so they'll have a normal upgrade path. You can buy different laser heads. Basically, more power, better range is what you get as you go up the scale. Yes, they can take ore bags. It's got 2 ports, so it'll be able to load 2 bags simultaneously. Assuming that it has enough tractor beams to do that. If not, it will just offload through one, then you put the other one on, and then when the first one's done, you take that off, so you can have like concurrent loading going on. All the mining lasers are controlled by everything else. The missiles are controlled by the pilot. It will have VTOLs for landing on the planet. The vehicle bay is in the center of the cargo area. The 2 coexist with cargo grids being available at the edges of the room. So you have the vehicle bay and the cargo, and you can use both at the same time. So that's cool. So 2 ASA rovers or 2 Rock DSs, so the big ones. So you might be able to wedge a bunch of smaller rocks in there, although you probably won't have the crew for it. So standardized SCU containers to allow for a huge amount of interoperability with other vehicles. And that's pretty much it. Docking collar on the side of the ship, central crew elevator, and the rear ramp. Yeah. Shared bunk area for the crew. Shared habitation area to relax and prepare food. No dedicated medical rooms on board again. So another industrial ship without medical support. There are integrated weapon and suit storage facilities, but no dedicated armory. So again, you'll be able to take weapons, you just won't have a wide range of them. And that's where we are with the Arastra. And then subscriber perks have changed slightly. I won't go through this. You guys are fully capable of looking at this. But in effect, Imperator will now get 2 vehicles a month. Centurion, the cheaper one, will still get 1. There's a difference in stipend now. I don't know if that existed before. They said they've revamped it. Not a lot is standing out as being revamped. Other than, obviously, the change to PTU access. So this is going to get you wave 1 regardless. Okay. Cool. There we go. Okie doke. Right, so let's go and have a look in game. If you are in there, AV, I see you. I've got you, buddy. We are off. So I'm going to sling you an invite, bud. There we are. Awesome. And then hopefully it says we're all in menus. AV, I'll just give it a second. Hopefully you are as well. Just let me know in the chat if you are. Because it's not giving me a location for you at all. Yeah. I have invited you, I believe. There we go. Cool. So there'll be 4 of us. Marek, if you're going to come on, buddy, sing us an invite in the EPTU. You've got to have been logged in first, though. My name, obviously, there, bud. AV, are you in PU instead of EPTU? You monster. Scott says, I also don't care for the large number of devs sourcing feedback from popular streams, as it prioritizes very vocal, tiny minorities in the community, but them's the breaks. Yeah, possibly. I guess it depends which way the mechanics are working in that stream, whether the streamer is, or the content creator, because it can work both ways, right? It can be me too, is whether it's people are with that content creator and it's all of a similar mindset. There you get the echo chamber, right? When very few people in the stream disagree. Or is it the streamer just going, tell me what you think, and that he's then parroting the views of his chat, which can be quite hard, of course, when you've got varying views. And this is why I keep saying to people, I am more than happy for you to disagree, but disagree with what's being talked about. Disagree with the argument. Don't attack the individual. That's when it's too far. We should be well capable of debating each other without resorting to personal attacks. So that's that, and that's what I want in here. And I try to, when I talk, I will try to reflect the viewpoints that I have seen, even if they're not my own. Cool. Drinkers, thoughts on the sexy splash screen UI? It is a splash screen UI. You are correct, and it is sexy. Loving the oil rig thing. Yeah, that's kind of clever. That's definitely a more enticing, more inviting, more interesting screen than we've had before. So it's kind of cool. Awesome. Right, I am going to pop. Shows all 4. That's great. Okie dokie. Persistent universe. In we go. I'm going to jump across the Discord and get rid of my ugly mug to stop the camera freezing. And we should go and have a look around the verse. Continue to interact in chat. But I will be with you in just a second. There we are. Pro stream. Pro stream, man. Right. I've disappeared, which is no bad thing. Now I'm going to... Cheers, everyone. Anyway, happy Sunday. I don't know who it was. Someone said that this was basically their nightcap. Cheers. I'm now enjoying my nightcap of mead with ginger. And holy moly. I mean, that's brave, right? Doing Seas of Origin, pretty brave in EPTU. Let me out. Ah. Well, hello there, General Kenobi. I'm going to jump across now so you can hear me. Ta-da. Okie dokie. Hey, look at all of us on the same, almost all of us on the same floor. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's fun. We can all take off together. Hold the door for us.
Oh.
That didn't make it.
There you
go. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
I'm liking the civilian getup there. Looking very stylish.
No, one of us has to manage everyone.
Woo. I'm in my Aztalan getup. I feel very Star Wars.
Might have to follow.
Oh, and then yeah. So the wind now affects us here. People just getting blown over left, right, and
It kind of depends on the day too.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's not as windy.
Yeah, 100%. Brewing a batch of ginger cider right now, says Scott. Very nice. Who's this ginger you speak of? I'm not telling. Gentlemen don't kiss and tell.
I'm more of a Marianne fellow.
It's not my favourite brand of mead, I will admit. So this is, they call it tournament mead. Yum 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 yum. The toilet.
Why has my mind gone to this place where like you're just drinking mead as fast as you can and like that's the tournament?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean,
that sounds like really poor, cheap mead.
I wouldn't be like drinking. I don't feel like I'd live up to my name if I wasn't at least half cut on the stream.
I've never had mead.
We shall rectify when you're across for CitizenCon, mate.
I would love to.
Do some proper mead.
So,
okay,
the thing is, though, that a lot of hangovers are triggered by sugar content.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, mead being made from honey does have more sugar content. So, just a warning.
True. I get the feeling chat really likes Scarlett's idea of a Viking drinking competition. Chat seemed to be well up for it, which is good. So we'll see how the bitrate goes. We'll see if we manage, but it seems to be all right at the minute, especially here. I do still have clouds off. Because when I have clouds on, it goes slideshow on us. So I reckon that very quickly we jump in something, go and have a look at one of the settlements, and then spend the rest of the session doing salvage. And if we got time for bunkers, we can do bunkers at the end. Because let's face it, everybody knows what bunkers is like by now. You know, and if
Although
it's
they
fixed,
do seem
I can.
To be fixed.
They do seem to be fixed.
Yeah.
That's great. That's a good enough answer for me. They're fixed, everybody. We've solved it.
I definitely went to one and I didn't see anybody stuck in any floors.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
So then I guess we're gonna fly back here for the reclaimer later.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just gonna be a quick out and back. But they are impressive enough that I think it's worth looking at. It's pretty cool to go and take a look at. Especially for people who haven't yet been to Pyro. I think it's going to be a significant improvement over what they've seen so far with derelict settlements. Or not so derelict settlements, as the case may be.
I mean, they're friendly, right?
Backpack.
You guys will keep me safe.
Yeah, I think they're kind of friendly. I mean, the ones that we went to, we didn't get shot at, so that's probably a good thing. There are also lots of players there and we didn't get shot at, so that might be a once-in-a-lifetime thing. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, nice. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay, there he is. He's got it.
It was kind of cool. You guys got scooped into the ship.
Oh, did I close the back ramp, did I? Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, let's find one of the new locations. So notice that Ghost Hollow now has a beacon, a quantum beacon, so we can find something. Weeping Cove. I don't think we've been there yet. But you'll notice that now Maker's Point, Weeping Cove. There are now a couple of places that are on the map. No game sound. That's okay. We'll fix that in a second. Ooh. Don't do that.
I'm about 10 kilometers from you guys.
What? Where are you?
I'm falling through the atmosphere without a parachute.
No.
Yeah, it's quite all right.
Are you about to land?
Wait,
No.
we can maybe scoop him up in the ship.
I'm going to just drop the menu, so I'll come back in, and then I'll grab something and come join you.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll come and grab you.
Yeah.
We can
I don't
catch
want
him
you
in
to
midair,
crash.
Captain.
Well, we can give it a
No,
shot.
and
You
it's
guys are
actually
We're going to
extremely
try a barn
dangerous.
swallow.
Yeah. That's it. There we go.
Right, is the back open?
Yeah.
Or I could land on top.
Can't see you at
Oh
all.
my god. You're just rushing toward the
level out.
surface.
Level out.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Are you, I
Be
can't
fast
see
and
you
daring.
at all.
Nope. Exit to menu. Boom, done. Because I was about to hit.
We'll come back and we'll come back and get you in the reclaimer when we go that way.
Yep.
We tried it.
Yeah, it's easier to pull this off at Orison, of course.
You were really close to me, though. I could, like, within 50 feet.
Damn. Okay.
All right. I'm gonna.
Well, that's going into the therapy record.
Hoofed out of the ship in atmosphere. Oh, never mind.
Exactly.
We just blacked out.
Stress of
That's fine.
nearly being rescued, but then crashing to his death.
That's it.
Yeah, that's gonna need therapy.
A lifetime of therapy in 3, 2, 1. I'll sort the sound out better in a second because it's going to take a little bit more time than what I've got with needing to fly down. And of course, unfortunately, without the clouds, you just kind of get this murk layer that you suddenly jet through.
But I
Gas
mean, some
giant.
content is better than no content.
100%. You know, and yeah, you need a gas giant, or you need another 10k worth of altitude to play with.
Yeah, we dropped them in the upper atmosphere would have been more possible.
In fact, I think this is where we went to before, Del. So you're not missing anything. It's the same place.
I'll try to buy you a postcard if they have one.
The problem, of course, is that frame rates really struggle. Don't worry, if you're seeing that, you're seeing exactly what I'm seeing, which
Yep,
is
I'm
massively
seeing the
struggling.
same.
Massively struggling with frame rates.
Yeah, we're all experiencing it.
Engine off, clear to go. Okay, so don't immediately shoot because there will be friendlies here.
Oh, yeah, here's
Yeah.
a bunch of friendly-looking NPCs.
Yeah, I mean, they have a tendency to get naked here for some reason, but, you know. Maybe they had their, put your gallon of lubricant. I think that's the
Ooh, we
thing.
might have to do a murder, though.
There is a comms out here, so it's going to make salvage a little bit more challenging getting you back to the spaceport. But this is quite, you know, these are very reminiscent of the settlements that we see in Pyro. Obviously functioning, friendly at this stage, and they have this sort of place. So this has 2 kiosks. You've got the commodity shop, where they're buying us RMC, and they're selling that stuff to us. Or we can buy that and then sell that. I can't remember which way around it is.
I think I
that's
made a
that.
mistake wearing heels out here.
I think you might have. I think you're right. And then we've got the shop as well. So pretty basic. I noticed that the stream now has gone a little bit slideshow, but unfortunately it's done that for me as well. So you're just seeing what I'm seeing. Yeah, impressive. There's lots of bits
Nothing
to
too
explore.
exciting.
Lots of bits to interact with. All the ladders work like you would expect. They're not just there for show anymore. Lots of bits to climb up and around. There are loot crates kicking around if you find them. Yeah.
Oh, look, this is like a medical crate, but it's actually a seat because it's all worn over.
Yeah. There's a couple of ammo boxes and stuff here as well that look like they should be lootable, but they're not. So yeah, quite an interesting site. And these are kind of, I guess, the first iteration we're going to have of non-landing zone, non-station mission hubs. Which is kind of cool.
Well, here's a lootable box. And it's empty. There's a
Unfortunately, with the
gold one
stream,
too. Disappointing.
my frame rate is a lot higher than that. That's more like my frame rate. So that's more like what we're seeing. But
Ah, I see a bunch of ships parked over here.
yeah, there's a couple of cutties, and whatever's
Yeah,
close
3
to you.
actually.
Yeah. So
Ooh, a gun on the ground.
that sounds like a trap to me.
Rally grab it.
Citizen Scott is asking, is there any NPCs around? I believe there.
Yeah. So there's 2 commodity shops, or there's a commodity shop for content for your ship, so you can sell off copper, iron, scrap, that sort of stuff, and you can buy from them the recycled material composite. There's also a shop to buy multi-tool and attachment, and there are NPCs kicking around all over the place, although these are friendly.
So this is the gun I found.
Mhm.
It's actually a bit worn if you take a look.
Oh, that's
It's a
cool.
worn out S71.
Nice. That's looking really good. Someone's found something to track to him. Yeah, so I thought it was just worth kind of coming and having a very quick look at these locations that are added in. Obviously, they'll match the decor of the planet that they're on. So the ones that are in and around Microtech will be much more like Ghost Hollow and those sorts of derelict outposts, except populated, working, likely to become quest hubs in the future. It's kind of cool. Yeah, that's it. So the social bits, I think, is that it's going to become a quest hub. It's going to be places where you can come. Maybe there's a doctor and you can get a heal if you don't have a med bed, that sort of stuff. But just,
I mean, how much crime
demorring,
set do you think
sorry.
you get if you just murder one of them?
I'd throw for meta. I don't think it would be something that you can remove normally.
What if I just knock them out and take their clothing?
We need to
Nah,
go.
we'll leave them. We'll leave them.
But yeah, it's when you
I'll
look at
test
this
it later.
compared to we had on Harrison originally, this is something else. It's quite something special. It just shows the evolution of planet tech. It's just that locations themselves are going to become more interesting, regardless of whether or not there's something there to do with missions. You know, these sorts of points of interest, just little lakes and rivers and what these areas are going to become the norm, and that's really cool. Right, let's return to the Vanguard, and spend the last hour doing some salvage stuffs. Let me know when you're seated and good to go.
Good ear.
Okay, I'm good.
Lifting. Lol. I didn't mean to cut the engines. We've just lost the nose gun. I was trying to make that a lot cooler than it was. Don't mead and stream, kids. It's not good. There we go. And for anyone else that's going, that stream's just paused. It did for me too.
What?
Competition meeting is the only way to meet.
Nice.
If you're not competition meeting, are you actually living?
That's a trick question because if you competition meet, you will die.
I'm saying nothing.
Fucking burrito bar you don't have.
Okay, so the mission now.
Irish
Del, we're
man
coming
was
back to
sounded
you, buddy,
sent
for a
home
reclaimer.
today.
Roger, roger.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh,
We're
just
gonna
saying
go
to
back
Del,
to the
we'll know when
reclaimer.
Yeah. So the likelihood is, Scott, at the moment, is that that's just the game downloading the shader stuff. Because, of course, I've not been there before, so there's going to be textures and stuff. that I haven't seen before that's downloading. But yeah, there seems to be a little bit stuttering around there. But with the rest of it, that isn't that place. It seems to be pretty good. I don't want to speak too soon, like, but
And even if it does get a bit stuttery, it does clear up pretty quickly.
Okay. Navy says new racing maps were having issues as well with frames. They seem to have got it fixed. It was something to do with LODM render. Fair enough. Can you give me a landing bay, or am I guessing at this point? Oh no, I got one. Good.
The game no longer seems to punish you if you keep calling for landing bays. They don't
Okay.
like close them and move with them. So you can just kind of like click it again if you don't get it.
Okay. Spaceport.
Ooh. Ignore the bumps and the crashes and stuff. Nothing to be concerned about. Beautiful. We are done. Good as much.
Smooth.
Okay, we're up to on our way up to you now, Dom.
Roger, Roger. I am making my way to the airport.
He's making his way downtown.
Yeah, I lost my backpack that had my food and drink in it, and
I'm
I
not
was
gonna
a bit
need it.
thirsty. At the reclaimer?
Yeah, we're just calling it
Yeah,
now,
we're
mate.
gonna have lots of food set up.
Ah, okay, got it.
Okay. Hangar 1.
Hangar 1I.
He looks like Dell's almost here on the transit.
Oops.
There it is. If I go the right direction. There we go. Okay.
Now this is 100% one of the ships that I absolutely love the look of. Just superb.
It's an incredible ship. And that's from somebody who doesn't like to get their hands dirty with this industrial stuff.
I'll call yours there, and then I'll go and grab the one person down your.
Yeah, he said Hangar 1. Okay, good.
No. Oh, apparently I don't get to go in that way. So I'll come in this way with you guys.
Can I get another
All
group?
right, let's wait for Dell too, because he's
invite?
Yeah,
The front one's been bugged for a little while. I haven't been able to get it to work.
damn. It feels like it's like just out of reach almost. You're still in the party apparently.
I don't see
Come to
anyone.
us, Dell.
There you are. Yeah, I don't
We see your marker. Just gonna have to reform then, or maybe we kick Dell and reinvite him.
Ink. There we are. And you were all black to me.
Yep. That is normal.
Okay. Now you've got color. Okay.
So all this has turned into functioning areas and stuff. It's going to be awesome.
So I'll do some cargo boxing.
Roger.
Yeah. I'll go play with the drones.
Are the drones
It's
working?
not a Drake, so it has that going for it. It's a stunner. Yeah, absolutely, mate.
Oh my goodness.
Does this thing still need to go out of orbit horizontally, or can it now point up?
Yeesh.
I wouldn't
Yeah, good
point it
question.
straight up. Although I think it might be possible, but that sounds risky.
I went vertical on Microtech. I don't know about here on Hurston.
Favorite bit about the ship is how the landing gear reacts when you land. Just you can see the weight that the ship's putting on it. It's really cool. Then I guess while we're waiting, we can always go and see if we can find a salvage mission. What do you reckon? Risky salvage?
Whoa. Probably need a fighter for
Does
that.
that mean we'll be attacked, or?
They're the ones with like the Scorpio Centaurs or Drake Cutter.
That will attack us, or just that we...
There's always the
One
risk
shot.
you'll get attacked. The risky salvage
We have
is to
massive
do with
shields
law
anyway.
enforcement turning up rather than
Oh, okay.
rather than it being like an attack situation. L3.
Wait, law enforcement, is this a legal salvage?
What it sounds like.
L5. What's that? Sharing it with everyone?
Okay, got it.
That just looks great.
Got it.
I am not seeing that pop up. Can you reshare it?
Yeah, stand by. I'm just going to get us out of here first.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Either stunner?
I am-
Yeah.
Or would you like me to bring a fighter for escort?
Sure, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Are you on the EPTU?
Yep.
Managed to transfer the forward flight, and we're gaining height, so that's or altitude, so that's good news. Okay. It's a big old unit to be going out of atmosphere. Share that again. Stand by. Sharing now.
I am not seeing that pop up at all. Is this one of the legal or illegal?
Legal.
So I get
To be
trespass
fair,
and no mission.
did
I think I
anyone
should
get
back
it?
out and jump back in.
Yes.
No,
No,
so
I got your mission.
it doesn't have a reward. The reward is the money you make from it. So you pay a fee for the salvage rights.
We don't,
So
yeah, we don't all really need it. We just need it for the location.
yeah, so you not having it is not going to affect you. It's still going to come down to how much money we make out of stuff.
Well, no, I just meant didn't want a crime stat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, you won't get it for this. It'll be fine. Also, while we're flying there, big shout out to Shadow Girl because she gave me pretty much all of her EPTU credits so that I could buy this thing because it's 28 mil, 28.8 mil, and you only start with 15.
Yeah, they
only.
raised the price surprisingly.
Oh yeah. So I don't know how long it's been like that, but it's an expensive ship, but it's a good looking ship.
Yeah, I think they said the current price jump was accidental, but they are going to end up doing it probably.
Oh, that was an accident. Oh well, while it's there.
Sounds like propaganda to me.
Yeah, I mean, the wording of their response was kind of weird. I mean, I'm not sure why you would say it was an accidental price bump you put in for the PTU.
Yeah, and she's not the quickest in quantum either.
I mean,
Kisses, prop to Shadow
it
Girl.
has
Don't worry, I'm sure
Oh,
Drinkers is good for
thanks.
it, and if he misses a payment, we'll take his thumbs. Wow. That escalated quickly.
Can't we upgrade the quantum in this, hypothetically?
No. Yes, now we've bought it. Yes, we could. It's the rentals that you can't, I think. Just gonna risk it for a biscuit and do this one. Let's see if this works. There we go. Do a little bit of interaction whilst we're here. I don't know what the game volume's like against the is the game volume all right for people against the normal stream? Is that working? Good. Yeah, so Scott talks about patches and performance issues. Yeah, I've had very much the same thing, mate, in terms of outside, even when I wasn't having the issue with crashing, that I really did have the problem with just performance in general in the PTUs. So I tended to stay away from them. And just play them when they came to live. Of course, there's obvious drawbacks for that as a content creator, and I think I've just put out a video on the Sulen. It's not done particularly well, and I think there are two reasons for that. One, it's late for a Sulen video, and two, at the moment, of course, everyone is focusing on 322. So 322 is the end of the year patches are always watched very closely because we know that when they release them, they're in the process of winding down for Christmas. A lot of them are going on leave, spend time with families, as they should do. But it does mean there's a much slower response when things aren't maybe working as they should. So these patches are always watched pretty closely to see how well they'll perform. And I think a lot of people would prefer a stable patch over a content-packed patch. I mean, obviously we'd like both, right? But it is one of those. Absolutely. And these new these new places to land. It'll be really interesting as we go into the new year now. Now that they've got the teams coming across of Squadron 42, to see what happens to the pace of development, what happens to those bugs that we know that have been forever, like the you have cargo bugs. When you're in and around a station that has cargo or thinks that you have cargo, it flashes up on your HUD. And it's incredibly annoying when you know you don't have cargo. It's just there because Star Citizen things. So hopefully, they'll start smacking out a lot of these long-standing problems, as well as increase the rate at which we get all the good stuff. So we'll see. We shall see. But just while I'm here, while I've got you all in chat as you are, those of you that are here, I would be very interested to hear from you. How are the gameplay streams as far as you are concerned? Obviously, I watch the viewer numbers, and for me, viewer numbers on these streams, because I very rarely monetize them, or I have something going on where, like, I use music that I can't, so they're not monetized. I'm not bothered about these streams being monetized so much. So the number of viewers I have is my indication as to whether or not people are enjoying the content. And I've noticed that the gameplay streams don't necessarily get as many people as the sitting and chatting ones. So you guys let me know, what would you prefer? Would it be sitting and chatting? Would it be us just doing a little bit of gameplay? Because of course the thing with the videos is that I can capture what's going on with the recorded video, so the only time you'll ever see stutter is when it stutters for me. So maybe that sort of content is better left to videos where I can have a better frame rate. But willing to take your feedback on that. It's up to you guys. If you guys come in and you want gameplay, I'll give you gameplay. If you come in and you want sit down, chat, talk about stuff, then that's what we'll do. We'll see how things go. And of course, if anyone in Discord has a thought on it, you're more than welcome to pipe up. But you don't have to. We can just move on from that. Mm-hmm. Of course, the other thing that we could do. Sorry, go on, Tom. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sure. Cool. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That sounds good. I mean, yeah, I'd be interested in chat as well, because you guys have kind of stopped talking for a little bit, so I don't know if I put you all to sleep or what. Maybe I'm too much of an effective nightcap. I don't know. But you know, it would be really interesting because, of course, we can do community play-alongs that aren't streamed at all. So I can pop in the Discord a day that we're all going to get together and do something. It doesn't need to be streamed because, like I said, the videos are where I want to kind of develop my YouTube presence and hopefully get to the point where maybe the channel can pay for itself, so it can send me to CitizenCon in Europe once a year and pay for any replacement bits. If I can get to that, like that's cool. Anything over and above that is just nice to have. If I can get to that, that would be great. But I don't plan to use the streams to do that because that's not what the streams are here for. The streams are here so I can interact with you guys on stream and we can have a decent conversation. So yeah, if people just want community play-alongs, we can do that too. Maybe I'll stick something in Discord. Maybe I'll stick like a vote up or a poll up or something. Okay. Personally enjoy both, says What's Raving. Sakara Gord says, I'm quiet because it's 23:21. No, loud. Put me loudspeaker. Amp. Keep everyone up. That's how to make friends and influence people, mate. Just wind them all up. Don't do any of the things that I've just suggested. Please don't. I'm just hoping we don't fly into anything because I would imagine a reclaimer at 500 meters a second is not the easiest thing to stop. And some of this stuff is coming in pretty hot, like. Oh. Are they? Sorry. All we did was accelerate, I promise. That. It's almost like we're drinkers with gaming problems. Or gamers with drinking problems, one of the two. Okay. It says, I actually think that if you're up for it, you need to do both. Videos allow you to develop your own editing style and put forward your interest. Gameplay streams are always good for the SCC community. Mara says, I'm quiet because I hate horror games because I'm a wuss and I'm playing a horror game. Play or not, just keep talking. Am I what's giving you your sanity in your horror game? Because, yeah, that's, I like that. That's a good thought. You know, decelerating pretty hard. Sorry if I've just knocked everything over in the galley. Yeah, and I'm more than happy to do the streams. You know, I wouldn't suggest that I do one or the other. I guess my question is, do people want the talk streams or do people want the do people want streams where it's gameplay? Because I'm merely reacting to how many people are on stream, pretty much. Okay, heading towards the. Yeah, that's true. Okay. That's us in the zone. Engines off. Okay. I don't know if you guys want to go to start the hull stripping first. Yeah. Get the composite. So I think composite material's worth more, right? Stripping and oh my god, just Badger stream rated R. Yeah. I'll just sit in the front and do some tweaking then, shall I? I can't wait for the video to catch up. Yeah, that. So can the claw extend without interfering with what you guys are doing? And do I need to get you any closer? Oh, are you able to like rotate it and stuff then? That's cool. So you can rotate it. Yeah, so you can rotate it and get the stuff, and get the stuff off the top. That's cool. Yes, you can. So you can strip now the RMC off the top, and then whilst I'm munching stuff up, you can be moving other stuff into the claw. That's very cool. I like that a lot. Get out of the kitchen. Sorry, I realised that could have been that could have been taken the wrong way. You know what I mean? So, just in honor of my arch playing his horror game, sorry, that was mean. Let me know when you peeled yourself off the ceiling, buddy. I'm so sorry. That was not nice. I do that with my family a lot. If there's a horror movie on, I'll just sit there and go, you know, everything's quiet, no one's saying anything, and I'll just be sat there, and all of a sudden I'll just go, oh, sorry. No, I'm sorry. I thought that was a scary bit. Yeah, my family don't like me much. Ray Louderbeck says both types of streaming is fine. I guess it depends on what is currently going on in the community. Yeah, 100%. Stakara says we need both in the end. I agree. Gameplay for me is to see how things are done or places I don't know about. I hate you. I'm so sorry, buddy. That was gnarly. What horror game are you playing, man? I'd be interested to know. Kiss My W. I love the name. I love the name. So Also, if someone could get them to come over just once, just so we could see the name and know that I'm not taking the mick. There was someone in Daily Noob stream yesterday called Me So Wet, which I just thought was the funniest thing. It's like the best name ever. Oh, think your Discord sound is off, by the way. That's very likely that it's just me talking at the minute, and these poor guys can't get a word in edgeways, I would imagine, is what's happening. There you go. Ooh, it might be that I don't have you. Ooh, I might have been naughty. What do you output capture? Yes, mate. Bear with me a second. Okay, there we go. I've added them now. You should be able to hear them if I now go fade. There we go. You should be able to hear them just fine.
Thank you much.
And just while I'm mentioning it, just in case you haven't been across and seen his stuff yet, it is very, very good. Go across and say hi to Daily Noob when he streams. Australian streamer, very chill, loves doing kind of low-level flying, lots of gameplay with cargo and getting kind of high-end cargo out of bounties and things like that. Also great at helping new players. So yeah, definitely worth. He will also, at great pains to himself, take you through decoupled flying if you've not already given that a go. So yeah, okay, I'm going to.
Oh, really?
Does anyone remember what the keybind is for the salvage bit?
Should be M.
Yeah.
Not for the claw, I don't think it is.
Turn left and then hit the interact power on first.
Yeah, power's on, but M isn't doing anything. There you go, it's N, November.
Yeah, that makes sense. And for claw.
Yeah. Very cool. Right.
Sorry, that was some sarcasm, yeah.
Creating the fracture field. There we go, fractured.
Do you fully strip it
Beautiful.
already?
I think you have to
And
strip
then-
it first, don't you?
How am I?
Right click.
Yep, right click.
Wait, were we done stripping it?
Yeah, it was just a cutter. There wasn't much hole to strip.
Oh, I see.
Okay. Disintegrating. Yeah, this is. I mean, it's very basic. Like they said, I can see why people are like, yeah, it's a bit too easy. This. I do like the effect of it all going in, even if it is just kind of.
Yeah,
There
I'm
we
totally
go.
fine with
Okay.
this.
So let's see if we can find something larger to strip, shall we?
You know, I'm gonna
Let's-
put the beer away for now.
There's a constellation if people want.
Yeah,
Do a constellation
that'll work. Or we could do like
or a 400i.
A2, M2. Oh, how dare
I
you.
haven't got that in the thing. Let's go personal and see what's in the. What was the contract? Aegis Hammerhead Salvage rights. Roger. We're gonna go do a Hammerhead. To Mike L5. Set route. this will probably take most of our time, I should imagine.
You know what? I bet it's going to go faster than we even expect.
There we go. Resident Evil Biohazard. Nice. Nice. Okie dokie. Let's see. Let's get us there. Takes a little while for this thing to spill up. Curious how much you make with a hammerhead. I think it's about. I've seen people make about 1.6 a mil. Stakara. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but the cutter's not going to make much of a difference in it. So we'll do that, and then we'll go to a station. Hi.
I feel like I'm here to make sure I get a return on the investment.
Supervising, as they say.
The company sent me, you know.
So she's a spy.
Ooh, handsome.
Well, I mean, it was me on my avatar, and it was never going to be me. So let's. Okay. Wow. Role play walk. Very cool. I like that a lot. Very nice.
I had even more out here, but like I said, I hit the item limit. Then I was setting the beer up here on these little railings area.
Nope. I'm done with that sandwich.
Did you see KSSMYW? I'm not sure how to say that.
That shows the perfect voice to accompany Overlord to. Way too disarming. She's a ball breaker for sure. I can neither confirm nor deny.
We'll confirm it if I make them.
He doesn't want to seem to let us sit down, does it? It's a bit disappointing.
Oh, we've got coffee there, water, soda, you know, all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Nice. The only thing we need now in here is a bin.
That's what the floor's for, isn't it?
Well, I thought we brought Dell along.
So I've got the backpack.
Rude. Rude but accurate. Yeah. So I went for the 80s Karen style of haircut.
I mean, I definitely approve.
Can you do what it? do what I normally do when anyone's scrutinising closely, which is hide. There we go. Lovely. Okay. Crikey, we're still 45 mil out.
Also, the problem with the trash can is that there's not one big enough for the whole ship. This whole ship is a
Wow.
piece of trash. I mean,
Wow.
Rude.
but accurate. Yeah.
I think the reason why there's no big trash can on the reclaimer is because you're meant to go down to the compactor and just toss it in there.
Indeed.
Or I guess the floor is the trash can. I mean, it feels like it could be one of those ships. You know, not
don't know,
Drake, but almost Drake.
She's in tip-top condition. Beautiful. Look at this, look. Not a mark.
You know, look
Tip-top.
at these rust/blood stains, you know.
I don't want to talk about
Looks like there's almost tire tracks on the wall here.
it. Tire tracks on the wall. Yeah, someone's been driving their what's their
You know,
bike
with guys
thingy?
around, you know, who knows what they're gonna do.
Well, you're right about that.
You guys got weird ideas.
What?
Talk like that deserves the space plank. Yeah, to the airlock with you.
Okay, the airlock's over here, right?
Yes. Also, would not recommend. We'd have to come back and pick you up.
Were you climbing up, Dal?
Yeah, I'm just kind of checking out the ship.
Scarlett's been driving badges up the wall. Once again, can neither confirm nor deny. I know what side my bed's by. Stunner, I think you're going to get there well ahead of us, buddy.
Yeah, I think so.
What are you flying?
A Sentinel.
Ooh, flashy.
Yeah, I haven't had it out in a while, so I thought I'd take it.
I'm always a proponent of getting out, mate. You know that.
I don't have my Solstice Wind paint for it though.
What EPTU you mean?
No, I'd already been playing in the EPTU, so you know the paint is back where your starting location was, so I didn't have it where I called this. Where I took off from.
Gotcha.
Tried calling DoorDash to deliver my paint, but they wouldn't do it.
It's just rude. What are they there for otherwise?
Seriously.
I'm really looking forward to seeing the new quantum effects in game.
Yes.
Good.
I mean, that makes me wonder what the alien version's gonna be.
Yeah, because I really like the way this Sunan effect is at the minute. Because what does that affect right now? It's the
It's
Sulan, the
basically
Defender.
the Bono effect, right?
Sulan, Defender, Prowler. Does it affect the talent? The
Oh yeah, I think so. I think they have it as well.
Mhm. Yeah, that is very cool. So just while we are here, we've got 24 million kilometers left to go. I just wanted to mention something. I've been asked a couple times now about, you know, what am I doing with channel memberships? Do I have Patreon? Do I have that sort of stuff? The answer to all of that at the moment is no, and I don't know as and when that'll happen. Because of course, if I'm going to do something like that, what I want to make sure that I do is I want to make sure there's value in it for you. So if I'm doing Patreon, there's something extra. If I'm doing YouTube channel memberships, that there's something that you get for the support that you show. So that's that's the answer for that right now. However, what I would like to just bring to your attention, with absolutely no pressure whatsoever, obviously, is one of my first, well, really, my first really social interaction with like an outfit or a guild was with a guild in World of Warcraft back in the beginning of 2000s, very quickly after the game had released, called Raven. And it was I game with them for a number of years, and it was when I went up with Montrose, one of the warships that I served on. We went into Rosyth, which is on the east coast of Scotland, just a little bit north of Edinburgh, and we went into refit. So we were up there, we were taking stuff off. I was due to come off, but I was going to be there for a couple of months. And our guild leader and his family, both of whom, him and his wife, both played WoW. Bellar and Simi, I'll refer to them by their in-game names. Bellar and Simi were incredible in that they invited me over to have lunch with it or have dinner with them, to have drinks with them in the evening, to stay the night, and then to continue driving back down to Plymouth because it was effectively on my way home. It was lovely meeting them, and at the time they had two very young twin girls. Those girls are now all grown up, and I was really impressed the other day to see that they are doing a charity bash. They are going to the Citadel in Ayr in Scotland. They are going to swim the distance of the width of the channel, which is about 33 kilometers. So between them, they will be doing 1,320 lengths of an Olympic-sized swimming pool. Which is absolutely crazy. They're doing it all in order to raise money for Diabetes UK, in order to continue the research and the good work that that organisation's done. So the reason I raise it is, if people are looking for a very good cause to put just a little bit of money to, I'm going to link it. Up to you whether or not you do, but I just thought it would be really nice, just to show them a little bit of support. I'm going to pledge at the end of the stream, so it would just thought I'd mention it to you guys because it's really nice, done by people that you know, I know and I have a lot of respect for and a lot of time for. Unfortunately, don't get to see anywhere near enough, but they are a lovely family. So I'm just going to take the link now. Unfortunately, it's a massive, great link, but I'll pop that in chat. If that's something you feel like you can give, please do. If you cannot, then don't. You know, only give what you're comfortable in giving. But I'm just going to pop that into chat. And if you want to click the link, please do so. Cool. Back to our regularly scheduled program. he says, frantically trying to find the button to get him back into the regularly scheduled program. Well, that wasn't a bad way to burn 20 million kilometers, was it? Personally. So we'll let the stream overrun just a little. I want you guys to be able to see. Can we donate to stop them doing it? That's crazy. I have a feeling that ship has sailed for now. That's just going ahead. It's going ahead in 2 days, by the way. That is happening in just 2 days. They've been, from what I understand, they are frantically carb loading with like pasta and everything else so they can relay this thing to completion. But it's an incredible feat. I remember swimming the 1500 meters when I was much younger. I quite enjoyed my swimming, and that was tough. So hats off to these girls. Okie dokie. Almost there then. Stunny, you still there or have you died of old age? Gotcha. Yeah, I think there is for the if they're illegal ones. What about the RCM? Can we sell that at these stations, or do we have to go somewhere else to sell it? We got to go somewhere else, right? Oh, can we not just go and sell it at a normal? Ugh. Yeah. Okay, 500K out, or 500,000K out. 200,000K out. So I've got one more jump left. I'm just coming into where you are now, and then I'm going to hold out for the final. There we go. Just gotta. Don't point that thing at me. I don't know why you suddenly became an old prospector in that impression, but you did. So there you go. Okay, aligned and jumping. Holding B, hoping something happens, and it doesn't. I guess we'll align again then. Wow, my HUD is proper spazzing out. Boop, 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 boop. Yep. Nope, does not want to play at all. Stand by. What's that? Oh, don't sink. Yeah. Yeah, it sounds about right. That sounds about right for Bella. Again. There we go. Jump in there. Yeah, Edison jumping engineering for us. Bless him. Yeah, so clearly one of the first things I'll do when I actually get my reclaimer is upgrade the quantum drive, because holy moly, that's painful. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. So, you know, I think we should all quietly encourage Scarlett to talk more, because that's what chat wants. Chat wants to hear what deep philosophical thoughts you are having right now. All the gods, all the heavens, all the hells are within you. No, I ran right into the hammerhead. Shit. Sorry about that. So I was... Yeah. Well, do you know what? I've had half a glass. Because I'm not a fan of that. But... So I had rapidly tried to... I'd obviously tried to decelerate, which changed my ability to change direction. Straights weren't working, she's too big. I then added power again to try and change our direction with thrust. Nothing. So, I mean, judge your mouth. So yeah, that. I mean, yeah, that. Sorry about that. Oh, I've got a doctor, which is kind of cool. A remaining salvage. We've just taken a massive chunk out of that as well, which is quite funny. But yeah, I mean, Stunner, you've got so much salvage now there, it's untrue, right? You've got an entire reclaimer and a hammerhead. What we need now is another reclaimer so we can just go and munch the lot of it. Unfortunately, it is a score night. No. No, we did not. Yeah, oops. Yeah, I've got some random medical dude like attending to me at the minute, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, bit of an anticlimactic. Sorry about that. I'm just really glad this isn't Twitch and you can't clip it. So there. Damn. But yes, unfortunately, it is a school night for me. So I have work in the morning, so I am going to have to call it there, as we are pretty much up on time. So I do apologise that we didn't get to see the kind of bits there that we were aiming for, but you know, this is Star Citizen, right? Yeah. So it do be like that sometimes. Yeah, unfortunately. But yeah. So that's that. And it's midnight. Sakara God, sleep well, my friend. Good to see you. What does your doctor look like? He's about to rob a bank. I don't know. I mean, he's not going to rob much if he can't get through the door, because that's what he's struggling to do at the minute. But thank you very much for joining in. Looking forward to see you again at the end of this week. Friday night now, I've got a segment where I do Friday Night Ops, which is some gameplay. We go off and do something or other, either reacting to something in the game, or we'll go and do probably some Salvage gameplay where I'm not flying, which will probably be a good thing. You've been watching Drinkers with Gaming Problems. Thank you very much for stopping by. I'll see you soon.